Tom Brady getting a clone, to other guys' weird pregame rituals, weird plays like whatever this is, players buying weird things like Hello Kitty cars, or things that only last a few minutes but cost $28 million, and so much more. These are all the weirdest things in NFL history. Now first though, are some of the weirdest rituals that NFL players do, like there's a player who acts like a superhero. Yeah, this is Brian Dawkins, a man who was literally nicknamed Weapon X, the codename of famous Marvel character Wolverine. But what had people comparing Brian to him wasn't just his aggressiveness on the field. Brian was such a super fan of the hero, he'd come out every single game acting like an animal.
I've always liked the X-Men, and then when I caught the Wolverine and how he is and the fact that he's intense all the time, something that invited me into that world.
And not only was that weird, his pregame ritual got even weirder in the locker room, so it started getting him investigated.
We're here, Brian's Dawkins locker, Weapon X. Going to do a little bit of looking at his pregame ritual and a little bit more behind the mask.
To enter that world and become the Wolverine, Dawkins performs a series of pregame rituals.
Now that's one of the nerdiest things I've ever seen. But some of the dirtiest things I've ever heard of is Patrick Mahomes' pregame ritual. Cause what he does isn't only weird, it has him smelling like ass. You can thank his wife Brittany and a special gift for that. Nobody really knew about Mahomes' secret until his teammate briefly mentioned it.
Superstitions Patrick Mahomes has before games. Take a listen.
The same pair of underwear, which probably not a lot of people know, on game day. He's been wearing it since I've been a part of it.
And when I heard that, Mahomes had me and the entire world wondering a lot of things, like what kind of underwear even were they? These?
Chiefs man thong coming through.
But as Mahomes just kept dominating the league, some NFL legends had to get to the bottom of his secret ritual.
Patrick, we saw your old teammate said you have a few superstitions and that one of them has been wearing the same pair of red underwear on game day for years now. And I love a good superstition, but could you just do something like eating the same pregame meal? Did it have to be the red underwear?
Well, first my wife Brittany got them for me, so I'm not throwing y'all down, but I have to wear them. At the same time, I threw them on that first season. We had a pretty good season that season. I only wear them for game day though, so they're not too worn down. They're not like these like nasty.
Wash them?
I do. I wash them every once in a while at least.
Is it a foam? Is it a D-string? What is it?
I mean, if we're on a hot streak, I can't wash them. Like I gotta just keep it rolling. So as long as I'm winning football games, I'll keep the superstition going.
No doubt.
Damn. So I guess me and Mahomes are the same? I wear my subscribe to FieldFlix underwear every day. Well, the difference is I'm still ass at football, and Mahomes is out there smelling like ass on a weekly basis. Now, all right. Enough about rituals involving what's inside another man's pants. Another player's weird ritual involves someone purposely injuring him. I never thought a 6'7", 350-pound machine would ever let anybody touch him and get away with it.
He's the biggest man you ever saw in your life.
But for John Henderson, he needed to get hyped up before games. So he would force people to bully him in the locker room. Slap, after slap, after slap. This man was always getting his cheeks clapped, and sometimes only once wasn't enough.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe! Thank you, baby!
Okay, both that dude and his ritual are insane. But none of us can really judge though. Dude went on to become a legend because of that. But speaking of legends, Tom Brady's secret ritual got him cursed by a witch.
She said, "You're lucky you married a witch."
Now, I know that sounds like cap, because when Brady said that, most people took it as a joke. But his ex-wife, Giselle, wasn't who everybody thought she was. Brady admitted that she would do things to him before games that would make him a better player than everyone. But she also warned him that if he didn't follow her exact instructions, he'd fail miserably.
So she put together a little altar for me that I could bring with pictures of my kids, and I have these little special stones and healing stones and protection stones, and she has me wear a necklace and take these drops she makes, and I say all these mantras.
Now, okay, all right. I know all that sounds crazy, but then I actually found out that Brady drinks weird colored drinks. I also saw some old footage of his locker where he had every piece of the ritual that he mentioned. Pictures of his kids, a special necklace with healing stones that brought him strength, little note cards with written rituals that he'd say out loud, and even a statue of a Hindu god. What's scary though is that some people believe the God he was worshiping was actually a bad thing, and they believe prayers to it bring spiritual darkness or demonic activity. But Brady eventually believed that following his wife's rituals were the right move.
And at first I was like, this is kind of crazy. And then about 4 years ago, we were playing the Seahawks and she said, you better listen to me. This is your year, but this is all the things you're going to have to do to win. And I did all those things. And by God, you know, it worked. It was pretty good. And then in 2015, it was about early January. And she said, you know how much I love you? And I said, yeah. And she said, I just want to let you know this is not going to be your year. And of course we lost. I said, what does 16 look like? And she said, 16 is going to be your year. So it was early January this year. And I said, babe, do we have a chance? And she said, yeah, but you're going to have to do a lot of work and you're really going to have to listen to me. So man, I listened to her. And right after the game, she said, see, I did a lot of work. You do your work, I do mine. She said, you're lucky you married a witch. I'm just a good witch.
Now you know why Brady became the GOAT. But the weird pregame ritual Josh Allen does with his throw should have this man being rushed to the hospital. Josh noticed something weird about himself in college. While playing football for their team, he should have visited the doctor, because this man was sick every single time he stepped on the field. And I promise it wasn't all the drinking he was doing as a frat boy. But since Josh was becoming a star player anyways, he just decided to purposely keep getting himself sick before games. And eventually, that actually helped him get drafted to the NFL, where he kept his weird tradition going.
Throughout the game, I would gag, I would dry heave, and I would throw a ball on my thumb. There was just some weird things that would happen with my body that I just didn't feel right. Going to my rookie year, I was just you know what, I'm just gonna try it. I threw up. In that game, I was just I didn't have any of those symptoms. It was just the weirdest thing. So I was you know what, I'm just gonna have to start doing this from now on. And I've got some guys that usually throw up in the room with me. Yeah. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not.
Everybody's just
exactly, yeah. It's like 21 Jump Street, right? Where they're
everybody going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that I do. I try to convince myself that's something primal, hungry warrior is gonna fight harder. Yeah. So it's my body telling me all right, get this up so you can go out there and fight harder. So that's the way I try to phrase it in my mind, whether that's true or false, who the hell knows, but that's what I do.
Now, even though I think that's gross, I can't argue with the results. Throwing up helped this man throw more touchdowns than ever. So even other NFL legends were curious if this was true.
Can you throw up right now? That would be great for ratings.
No.
I probably could.
No.
If I start thinking about it, I get a little queasy, so
seriously, after you throw up, do you eat again?
No, I don't eat game days.
You don't eat,
If we play in
period?
the mornings, I don't eat. If we play at night, I'll eat a little breakfast.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a second. A 7 p.m. game, you're eating a little breakfast.
A light breakfast.
And then throwing it up, and then that's it.
Throw up, then take my little red pre-workout drink before the games. Ready to go.
But alright, as much as Brady and them were grossed out, that still wasn't as weird as this next player's pregame ritual that involved a deadly sea monster. Now, alright, when I first heard that, it was honestly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But what Greg Hardy did during games is actually that weird. It's been known that he forces himself to change into what he calls his alter ego. And which one was that exactly? Well, it just so happened to be a giant mythological octopus called the Kraken, who was known for roaming the seas and destroying every single thing in its path. Which is kind of what Greg wanted to do on the football field. So he not only said, on Wednesday or Thursday, I go down in my subconscious, I find him, and I unlock the cage. About Saturday, he usually comes out. Then he's always out on Sunday. I don't control him then. What he does when I'm not there, I don't know. Now, alright, we're getting crazy here, I know. But Greg, or Kraken, whatever you want to call him, definitely wasn't lying. When game day came, not only could he destroy breakfast.
You ever remember dominating like that in a game?
And I dominated breakfast when I woke up, so I don't know what you're talking about. I dominate everything I do. It's a silly question.
What did you have for breakfast?
Cereal. Killed it. No spoon.
He was a completely different person on the field. He put in red-colored contacts, paint his face black, then put the name Kraken all over his jersey for pregame warm-ups. But that's not even all. Dude even went by the Kraken during player intros.
Kraken. Hogwarts.
Then he damn near really turned into one during games.
Going into my second year, for the fans on the chat lines was that guy's come off the bench like a Kraken, and one of my friends came on and was like, you know what? Why don't we run with that, man? That's tight. I was like, I do kind of feel like a Kraken sometimes.
Release the Kraken!
and, you know, develop more skills and just the nasty tenacity for the game. I embodied it and just separated it from, you know, my real life, everyday person. Crack comes out, it's whatever happens, happens. You're stuck with it. It's not my fault. If you're in my way, I'm gonna remove you. You got an attitude, I'm gonna kill it. I feel like I'm gonna stop. When the next level comes, I was already there. I've been this guy for my whole life. It's finally able to come out and just be its own monster. It's my job. My job, you know, people get killed, people get hurt, careers get ended. That's war to me. You know, it's get killed or do the killing.
And once the NFL saw how crazy his alter ego made him become, they literally posted his face paint on a board and claimed it was a violation. Now, I don't even blame the league for that. Dude's a freak. But even after all of that, I don't think he's as much of a freak as this next player.
Okay, ready?
Because his pregame ritual involved talking to things that weren't even alive.
What was your pregame ritual?
I used to talk to my socks.
Okay.
Well, you want me to demonstrate? I mean, I'll demonstrate exactly how it would go. I would get to the locker room and I would grab my socks and I would look at them and I would go, which one of you should be on the right foot? Huh? You like the right foot? Okay, let me see. And then I would get it halfway on sometimes and go, no, you don't like the right, I'm sorry, you like the left foot. If I didn't put the right sock on the right foot, I would be off balance. And now I see socks with right and left and an R and an L, and I'm like, I was ahead of my time.
Now, okay, talking to things that can't talk back? I kind of feel that. My neighbors probably think I'm just screaming about NFL players at the wall right now.
Who the hell are you talking to? It's 3 a.m.
Anyways, Strahan's ritual is honestly something he could have just kept in the closet. But Marshawn Lynch's pregame ritual was something that could have got him banned from the NFL. He was always hinting at the secret ritual he would do, and it started with him getting a custom fish tank with a Henny bottle inside.
It's 3D or something?
But Marshawn just decided to keep his ritual a secret until his career was over and made a joke about it.
My superstition was that I needed to have maybe a shot and a half before every game.
Of?
Hennessy. What you mean?
I was thinking, yeah, Gatorade. Toradol. I don't know what I was thinking.
Hell no.
And there's a bar right there in the locker room in Seattle. Schneider and Pete Carroll.
My backpack.
Got it.
Oh my God, dude really admitted he was drinking on the job, but apparently doing it gave him superpowers? Or maybe that was just the alcohol talking, I don't know. Regardless though, if the NFL knew what he was doing, the least of the consequences for drinking could have gotten him fined. Like when other players drank during touchdown celebrations and were fined over $13,000 each time. According to the NFL rulebook, the league prohibits any alcoholic beverages on their premises for players. And it's not only on the field. We even heard about players hopping on planes, then privately drinking in the sky, until the NFL found out and they banned the player for a year. Damn, drinking is definitely something the NFL takes seriously. So it makes sense why I ain't in the league. But anyways, not every ritual is fun and games. Sometimes things get pretty emotional. Like another player's pregame ritual was something I thought was weird, until I found out that it only happens because the closest person to him died. The only reason Puka Nacua plays in the NFL, or even has a chance to do a pregame ritual, was all credit to his dad, Lionel. When Puka was only a kid, his dad was so determined to get him to the NFL that instead of letting him watch cartoons like a normal kid, he made Puka watch football film, then would make him do drills and even tackle him saying, "You got 10 seconds to get up." Now, doing little things like that were definitely giving Puka an advantage over other kids. But all of that changed when out of nowhere, while Puka was only 11 years old, his dad was rushed to the hospital. His health was in jeopardy because of a long battle with diabetes, and not long after, he sadly passed away. Puka was devastated, but he knew he had no other choice than to use his dad's death as motivation to not only eventually make the NFL, but create a special pregame ritual. So eventually, once his dream came true and he finally became a professional, the thought of his dad not being there to watch created his pregame ritual, crying.
This was Kua at the anthem, and we talked about feelings that he has for his father whom he lost, and he thinks about him pregame and gets into that state, and just grateful for every single chance that he's out there in a purple uniform.
It gets you when you hear him talk about the fact that he's talking to him in those moments as the anthem is playing, telling him, hey, I hope you're proud of me. I hope you're watching me. Just trying to do what you said I would always do.
And it wasn't just a one-time thing either. Puka literally cries before every single game that he plays for his dad. Even recently, after becoming a bigger star than ever, Puka set an NFL record. And even though it wasn't his pregame ritual, he still got emotional, all because he knew his dad would be proud.
I'm going to stay with your heart for a second, because it was your dad that got you into football. He had you break down film and not watch cartoons. You are over 1,000 yards, and you are the fastest Rams rookie in franchise history to do it. I know he speaks to you on the football field. What would he be saying now?
I'm not sure. I would hope the worst. I am proud of you, Puka, would come out of his mouth, and I know they would. Maybe in not a time that I would be able to hear it, but you give me a big hug and just tell me to keep going. One day at a time. The job's not finished.
What a great job today. Congratulations on the win and the performance, Puka.
Thank you very much.
Man, you gotta respect Puka, because everything he's gone through is heartbreaking.
Now, alright, rituals in the NFL aren't the only weird things players do. Like, we still have to get to weird things NFL players buy, like a secret ass product, or Tom Brady literally buying himself a clone. But before we get to those and more, things only get more weird with the weirdest plays in NFL history. Because not only did one reveal a player wearing a thong I thought only girls wear, another play got two players' heads stuck together, and so many others. But starting with the Chiefs' weird play, it looked like something only little kids would do.
Look at this. I've never seen that before in my life. McKinnon took the Wildcat. Mahomes got it across.
Yeah, so we call it snow globe because we drew it up right before Christmas.
I've never seen some ring around the rosy shit like that before. But number 19's weird play made a player switch sports.
This game. Oh, the ball kicked right back to Carr. The football volleys to open up the third quarter.
Wait a minute, who does dude think he is bicycle kicking a football? Ronaldo?
Suey!
But at number 18, Tom Brady's weird play made him go against NFL rules. Because even though the rulebook clearly says that each team is only allowed one forward pass per play, Brady cheated anyway.
There's 3rd and 10. Brady has to step up. You can't do that. I don't have to check with John Parry on that one.
Wait a minute, what the? That looked like someone who was lagging while playing Madden. But at least his weird play didn't make him lose his clothes during a game like the player at number 17. Just keep your eyes on number 93.
And he will not. Ridden down. Comes back in the game. Oh, whoops.
Nobody wanted to see something that weird during a football game. The number 16 became weird when a player walked his opponent like a dog.
40 to play. Herbert looking, sideline. Allen with the catch. Allen, like he was on a leash. I mean, look at that. Unraveled there.
All right. But putting a player on a leash isn't as weird as number 15, where a weird play made Myles Garrett give head to another man.
Whoa, hey. Oh, their helmets got caught. Look at that.
Alright, I guess their heads getting stuck is just bad luck. But the player at number 14 is lucky something else didn't get stuck when a ball was kicked right into his ass. That is not what coach meant when he said go kick some ass, man. Because at number 12, a play made an announcer say one of the weirdest things in NFL history. See, you'd think this quarterback just throwing the ball looked pretty normal until things got weird.
Good job getting rid of that football with that guy coming right in your face. You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well. What did he say?
Alright, but it's not always announcers being weird, because at number 11, a fan made one of the weirdest plays of all time.
Follow the ball as it goes up the tunnel. Watch this fella jump out of the stands into the tunnel. He appears to be at least 10 feet off the ground, if not more.
Wait a minute, what the hell? I just don't even know what's more weird, the catch or what the fan looked like. And speaking of fans, they were pissed after seeing one of the weirdest play calls ever. Because the Giants had 3rd and 9, still a full chance to run a passing play and possibly get the first down. But instead, their coach called a weird play that fans couldn't even believe.
Interesting formation.
You don't feel comfortable enough in your offense to be able to run a traditional play?
Fans were screaming, booing, and pissed they paid money to see something weird like that. But players, announcers, and fans being involved in weird plays is one thing. At number 9, referees created weird plays that almost ruined entire games. Whether it was tripping Lamar Jackson in his own end zone,
he's got a free run, there's the official going down,
or running into a player who was about to intercept a pass.
There wasn't the official, he's just sizing it up.
Refs cause weird plays like the time they hit the ball out of a player's hands, and when they threw a flag that completely ruined a play. Refs making weird plays are always ruining games. But those aren't as weird as number 8, where a player gave his opponents free points.
It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way. And he's running into the end zone the wrong way, thinks he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, nobody knows what the hell man was thinking. Kinda like the player at number 7 whose weird play lost his team the game. The Giants were beating the Jaguars and needed just one more stop. That's when something weird happened.
In with time, throws for the end zone, it is intercepted at the goal line. Fred Lewis intercepted, lost the football.
Alright, but if you thought a player hit sticking their own teammate was weird, number 6 is so weird, people claim they've never seen anything like it.
Popped up straight into the air. And recovered by Pickens. Why not? Add to his lead.
I definitely never seen an onside punt. Neither did plenty of fans who said that, thought it was a weird rule, and clowned it about being something only the bum-ass Raiders would do. But alright, being ass reminds me of number 5, where a few players made weird catches with their cheeks.
By any means necessary. He's got that one between his legs, Kevin. Check out this. I don't think it ever touches the ground.
It did not.
Watch him turn his head and make a play on the ball. And once he does that, it ends up on his right cheek. One of the interceptions of the year. Should have been a completion, first of all. But then...
Alright, but most of those happened on accident. And number 4, a team purposely did something weird in 40-mile-an-hour wind. Because even though the Bears knew it was so windy that players couldn't warm up and balls were rolling around the field like tumbleweeds, instead of going for the first down to be safe, they created a weird play.
Kick is up, it's on the way, and it's... no good. Oh, man. And there he goes.
Now, as weird as that was, before we get into the top 3, there's other weird plays I just had to put in honorable mentions. Like a play so weird, a player lied about it. Just look at this kick, man.
Try now by Younghoe Koo, and he stumbled. Gillen gets swallowed up. Patriots ball. I don't think I've ever seen that. Looked like he just stubbed his foot right into the turf.
I swear dude looked like Charlie Brown missing that badly. And even though replays clearly revealed he kicked the ground, not the ball. Instead of owning up to it, all he said was,
the ball kind of slipped out at the bottom, so it was moving. You know, I wasn't able to kick through the ball. The ball was moving when I was driving to it, so I just pulled up on it.
You pulled up? Your leg didn't get there?
No, I couldn't. As I was driving to it, the bottom of the ball was slipping out, so I just pulled up on it.
But lying about that play still wasn't like the play that even the NFL called weird. See, this player caught a pass, then tried to lateral it to his teammate.
Looking to the left, instead throws the cross, juggled by Lee Gett, who flings it to the side for Dowdle as he was going down to the deck. A dangerous play. Now a flag is thrown.
But since his teammate also fumbled, then the player who originally lateraled it was somehow able to get up and recover the ball. It wasn't just fans saying, "What did we just watch?" The NFL even posted clips of the play calling it weird. But as dumb as that player was, another weird play actually won a team a game, because the Ravens were up by a touchdown with about 10 seconds left, so they lined up to punt. But rather than giving their opponents the chance to run it back to potentially tie the game, the punter just ran backwards holding the ball to let all the time run out, then took an intentional safety, and all because the Ravens players purposely got flagged for holding. NFL rules not only says offensive penalties don't reset the game clock, the Ravens used a rules loophole to win.
By rule, there is no extension, so the game is over.
Well, that's it. It ends on a wacky play.
But if you thought that was rare, an even weirder play happened only once in NFL history.
Brandon Fields struggled earlier, got the wet ball under Awesome, gonna let it go, and it looks like it's on a tee. If you tee the ball up, you couldn't put it any better.
That's the only time a punt ever hit the ground and never bounced.
Alright, playing in that weather would probably get me sick and send me to the doctor, but the weird play number 3 sent a player to the dentist. See this player right here? He lined up and rushed the quarterback like he's done every single play of his entire career, right? Except this time, replays revealed that something weird happened.
Oh, he lost a tooth.
and he's smiling. That's my best part.
Does anyone know if the Tooth Fairy comes for adults? Anyways, at number 2, a play that was even more weird got the Cowboys turned into crazy memes. It was them versus the 49ers in the playoffs with less than 10 seconds left. And with everyone knowing they needed a Hail Mary miracle, not only did they line up in a weird formation, things got more weird when their running back was their only lineman.
Penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turban. Gets smoked right away. And that'll do it. The 49ers back to the championship game.
Get smacked.
See ya.
Now, it wasn't just him clowning the Cowboys. Fans saw their weird attempt at winning the game and turned them into more memes than I can't even count. But the final and weirdest play in NFL history was so weird, it changed NFL rules forever. That happened because of Phil Dawson, old Browns kicker who lined up to hit the longest field goal of the season from 51 yards just to send the game into overtime. But little did he know, things were about to get weird.
Dawson leans into it. Does he have enough? No good! It hit the post. Rejected by the crossbar.
Yeah, refs called it no good, so of course the Ravens instantly celebrated and were already walking into the locker room thinking they won. Until refs luckily decided to review it, which showed the ball hit the back of the post, meaning it technically went through. So they brought both teams back on the field to continue the game that was now tied. Now, even though the Browns ended up winning in overtime, the weird play created arguably the weirdest situation in NFL history, which forced a rule change. The NFL voted to pass the Phil Dawson rule, a rule created specifically from that weird play, which meant no matter what, every single field goal and extra point would be reviewed going forward. Alright, now, weird things players do on the field still is nowhere near as weird as some of the weird things they buy. I mean, this player literally spent money on something that squirts in his ass. Then there's also a player who spent $28 million on something that only lasted a few minutes, and so many other purchases. But before we see those, the weirdest things NFL players bought start with a player who turned his house into a zoo.
Darnell Dockett's animal fetish started with pet lizards, alligators, and a $30,000 monkey. But eventually, he spent another $100K on something illegal, a tiger. Out of nowhere, Darnell posted a pic of it in his house, and everybody thought the man went crazy. Because not only could it literally destroy his crib or, kill somebody, the tiger almost got him arrested. When people saw Darnell's tiger lurking around the neighborhood, it turned into an all-out investigation. Because owning a tiger in Arizona isn't only against the law, it's a felony. It was suspected that Darnell bought the tigers down south and secretly had them transported across the country. So once Darnell heard the feds were onto him, he disappeared and hasn't tweeted in years. Maybe he's been hiding out with Antonio Brown, because this dude literally built a habitat in his backyard?
Ooh, that's a sports facility right there, baby.
AB's really a grown-ass man with a treehouse the size of a normal house next to his mansion. The thing even has a living room bar and a top-secret bathroom built into the wall. That's probably why the treehouse cost him over $200,000. But how AB lives ain't as weird as what other NFL stars wear. Cause Stephon Diggs is so addicted to coffee, he really spent 15 bands on a diamond Starbucks chain. And once other NFL stars heard about this, they bought even weirder chains. DK Metcalf's neck game got real strong when he copped a $50,000 chain of his favorite video game, Donkey Kong. BVS diamonds, his jersey number, and god damn, this chain's got some cheeks. But was it as crazy as what Kyler Murray bought? Hell nah, cause he got 2 chains. No, not that one, 2 chains. Kyler's first was a $95,000 chain of his idol, Bruce Lee. But even though this thing's flooded in diamonds, Kyler was hungry for more. So he bought a chain of his favorite candy, Snickers, bringing his collection up to $119,000. But just when you think things can't get any weirder, another player's jewelry almost cost him his life. Julio Jones took a trip to the beach, rocking some of his favorite pieces, and hopped on a jet ski. At first, everything seemed all good, until out of nowhere, Julio caught the wrong wave. Luckily, Julio was injury-free and hopped back on his jet ski, but then he realized his jewelry was gone.
That earring was worth a lot, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit? That earring cost 150 racks. So Julio wasn't about to just take the L. He called up a dive team to hunt down his treasure. And once the divers showed up, they all hopped in the water, destined to find Julio's diamonds. They looked everywhere, digging through trees and searching for ice. But apparently, the earrings were impossible to find. So Julio's just lucky Rob Gronkowski didn't show up. Cause this man spent $250,000 on something that destroys people. Dude became the first NFL player ever to have his own monster truck. Nah, scratch that. Gronkster truck. This thing goes 70 miles an hour and jumps 70 feet in the air. And what did Gronk have to say about all of that?
I like to be monstrous. I like my monster guns.
Hold up, is that FieldFlix? Yeah, even Gronk's a fan, so why aren't you? Subscribe. But anyways, I see why Gronk's truck is worth over $250,000. But what another NFL player bought made him go homeless. Vince Young may have been an NFL superstar who racked up over $35 million. But money got to his stomach big time. Cause Vince literally became addicted to Cheesecake Factory. And I mean, I don't blame him. Just look at the menu. But see, Vince took getting cake to the extreme. Cause every single week, he'd spend over $5,000 just on their food. And his addiction got so bad, Vince spent over $15K in one night. He just kept spending and spending, eating and eating, until eventually, his phone rang. Vince was told that every single penny of his career earnings were gone. And even worse, he was over $1 million in debt and forced to sell his house, all because of his cheesecake addiction. But at least Vince could actually get cake, because what another player bought guaranteed he'll never get laid. The first $1 million Will Hernandez earned went towards some weird-ass things. Because while other players used their first checks to buy cars, mansions, or jewelry, Hernandez bought something to clean his ass?
I always wanted a bidet, you know? The bidets are like these toilets that require no toilet paper. The toilet was around $4,500, but very worth the investment.
Dude spent nearly $5K to shit all day. But he's also got a superhero fetish?
One day, I was just strolling by New York City, saw a comic book store. There just happened to be a life-size, 6'5" Batman action figure. I went, picked it out, grabbed it, $3,000.
But Hernandez's favorite piece is his Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, because he brings this thing everywhere he goes.
I take this thing everywhere with me.
So I just wonder if he'd bring it to another planet, like the NFL legend who spent millions to leave Earth. Michael Strahan wanted to do something no NFL legend had ever done. Because when he saw that Jeff Bezos' space flights were making headlines, Strahan wanted to get in on the fun. So he hit up Bezos to plan out an expensive adventure. And not long after, Strahan announced his plans.
In less than 3 weeks, I will be blasting off in the next Blue Origin space launch.
And just think about this. One seat for one flight on one of Bezos' aircrafts cost $28 million. So Strahan wasn't about to take the opportunity for granted. He spent the next few weeks preparing for launch, and even planned on bringing some sentimental things with him on his flight.
I am taking my retired Giants jersey, my Hall of Fame ring, my Super Bowl ring, and the most special thing to me when my father passed away and they had his military funeral, the bullets that they fired from the guns, I'm taking those.
But as the clock ticked down, Strahan knew once he put on the suit, it was showtime. And eventually, the day came. Strahan and his co-pilots pulled up ready to make history. And as they walked up the launch tower, the nerves definitely set in, but there was no turning back.
Astronaut Stray, how do you read me?
Stray is good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Off they went. Strahan's crew was traveling 2,300 miles an hour, So within seconds, they were already above the clouds and eventually reached over 62 miles above the Earth's atmosphere. It was official. The crew was in space and floating around having the time of their lives. But the only problem was, it couldn't last forever. So eventually, the aircrafts made their descent, parachuted back down to Earth, and what seemed like a small step for man became a giant leap for an NFL legend.
But alright, even after all that and all the other weird purchases, the absolute weirdest stories about NFL players are on a whole other level than anything in this video so far. Like, there's an NFL weirdo who never wears shoes, only eats with his hands, and drinks peanut M&M water. Then, there's also an NFL star who likes girls' brown stuff on him. Ugh, and so much more. But first is Tom Brady, cause well, he spent over $50,000 on a clone. I'm not kidding. He did something weird with Lua, who was the dog always around Brady's family, until she sadly passed away. But as devastating as the moment was, Brady learned about a company that takes blood from animals, then uses a special process to identically clone their DNA. So instead of just getting a new puppy for cheap, Brady spent $50,000 on a clone named Junie, which according to the company, is an identical genetic copy of his original dog that has the physical traits and behavioral traits as well. Now, not only did hearing that make me and plenty of fans feel like this entire process was extremely weird, people criticized Brady for cloning his dog, said he shouldn't play God, claimed he could have saved thousands of pets with the money he spent, and even ran an entire Twitter poll about how weird it was. Only Brady, man. But George Kittle got a different type of weird at number 9, which involved him and his teammate's ass. Ha! Gay! Let me explain. Things got that weird when Kittle was still in college and lived at a little frat house on an important address to remember, 830 Miller Ave. Here's where George and his teammate CJ Beathard threw so many parties, got so many girls, and had so much fun at that house that they both decided the home was so memorable, they got the address tatted on their asses. Now, if doing some ass-related things with another man wasn't weird enough, both of them ended up getting drafted to the same NFL team, where one day, other teammates saw their weird little secret in the showers.
Do you guys have the same ass tat? Well, then, that got out.
Alright, but as weird as that was, at number 8, Aaron Rodgers had an even more weird encounter with aliens. Those things were probably coming after him because this man's known to do weird rituals, spend days alone in the forest, and even use crazy-looking machines to clear his mind. But Rodgers was about to tell a crazy story that had him getting clowned by all his fans.
I was getting down to bed. I heard this alarm in the distance going off. We heard this sound and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky. Whatever the hell it was, I don't know. But it was definitely unidentified. It was definitely flying. It was definitely a large object.
And hearing you went through something that weird, of course had fans skeptical. That's why even they said it was weird. How dude was fucking insane, and the illegal substances that he's taken have given him mental issues. But I could see Aaron Rodgers being weird. I never thought I'd see number 7, where Lamar Jackson uses something only girls wear. See, there's a reason Lamar's teammates had trouble explaining the smell of his new cologne.
It smells like the sea, ocean, fresh ocean smell.
Flowers? Hibiscus, daisies. More like feminine cologne.
They felt like Lamar's nightlight scent was weird since it was way more on the girly side. And they were right, because Lamar's inspiration for it actually came from some weird he uses that only girls wear.
People may not know this about me, but I rather prefer like girl perfume or some real soft. So that's what made me want to create something unisex, you know? I like to smell like a female sometimes, so get something that can, you know, be in between.
But alright, females don't only lead to players smelling weird, because at number 6, Jaden Daniels got clowned for his extremely weird relationship with his mom. That all started right before he got drafted when his mom was asked one question.
Now that Jaden is getting ready to take this next big step, what concerns you the most?
Girls. Them girls.
Now, as much as she seemed like just a protective mom, their relationship started to get more and more weird by the day. From getting drafted, then her being the first person Jaden hugged, to always handing only her the game ball after crazy performances. There was even a time she gave Jaden a kiss and fixed his hair like a girlfriend would. It was starting to feel as if they were a little too close, and that she controlled everything he did. Especially when people figured that she made Jaden bring her as a +1 to a wedding when she was seen lurking behind him. That moment already had plenty of fans coming at his mom for not letting him be alone, just to make sure he's with no girls. And if doing that or constantly wearing clothes of his name and face on him wasn't weird enough, From there, Jaden couldn't even do commercials without his mom with him. He was spotted sitting by a girl at a basketball game until his mom sat right between them. Then she was even seen cock blocking him again in front of a girl in Miami. But fans really started to get weirded out by the relationship when Jaden took his mom shopping for clothes, got food with her, and even paid to get her makeup done. That's why people not only completely clown the relationship, one person even said, moms like his are so fucking weird, it's like they're trying to date their own son. It's actually disgusting. But alright, number 5 is also weird, because what if I told you Jordan Love only plays like a star because of cars like these? Yeah, Toyotas are usually considered pretty mid, unless you ask Love, because for some weird reason, he doesn't just make millions of dollars and still loves driving a cheap Toyota. It's been calculated that he actually plays way better whenever the company runs their car sales event called Toyotathon.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota.
See, fans actually found out that when Toyota's cars are on sale, Love absolutely dominates with 26 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, while having a crazy 10-4 record. Then when the cars aren't on sale, as you can see, Love has a much worse touchdown to interception ratio and a losing record.
Did you just realize that was the thing, that you started playing so much better during Toyotathon?
Man, it's crazy. Social media was just, going crazy. The Packer fans and everybody was just constantly talking about Toyotathon merchant, this conspiracy of me playing better during Toyotathon. And it's really, I think, credit to the fans for just getting that thing started.
Now that's not just weird, it's crazy. But speaking of cars, at number 4, they're also part of Travis Kelce's weird story in another way that almost led to his brother being killed. See, something that scary only happened because of Travis's obsession with cars. From old school muscle cars to luxurious Rolls Royces, this man is always riding around in something new and hosting car meets.
This is awesome. We'll make sure this goes right into the community, baby. I promise you that.
But loving cars that much as a grown man or even a teenager is not weird, unlike what he knew about cars at just 3 years old.
I used to have to keep the keys up high, just like I had to keep the knives up high. Travis, for some reason, was opening up the drawers and he was climbing up them. He was 3 to get to the keys, and I'm all by myself. I go out the back door and there's 2 of them sitting in the car. Now, mind you, the car was locked. So Travis, he knew how to unlock the car door, get into it, and then slam it shut. And I don't know how he did it. He put the keys in the car. He knew exactly what to do and turned it on, and it jumped and went right through the garage door. And Jason, thank goodness, was sitting next to him, and he was just like, he was so excited. But he could have been standing in front of it.
Damn, now that's weird. But at number 3, a weird thing about Saquon Barkley involves something only little kids play with. Because even though Saquon is a grown-ass man that you'd think would have hobbies like, yacht parties, golfing, or maybe even something chill like video games, he actually doesn't spend any time on any of those. Instead, Saquon is ultra competitive in games that usually only little kids play.
Bro, you're doing it in a cheating way, bro.
You can't do that. Of course you a pro.
Now, man's being a tic-tac-toe pro as an adult is kinda weird, but it's not as weird as him being so dominant in another kid's game that it had him calling out an NBA legend. Saquon knew Rajon Rondo was known as the best Connect 4 player out of any athlete. So he not only called him out publicly for a match where the loser would donate money to a charity, Rondo ducked the smoke and never played. Because when it came to Connect 4, Saquon wouldn't just smack everyone. He's so good that he knows how to set up multiple ways to win.
If I got 3 right here, I'm gonna be able to beat you here, and I gotta stop you from stopping me to get to that spot.
But alright, speaking of 4s, another player does 4 things that makes him 4 times as weird. The first of the 4 is, you know what? I'm not even considering how Matt Collins dresses as one of them, even though he wears the weirdest fits I've ever fucking seen. What the? First is actually that this man walks around barefoot anytime, anywhere, unless he's in a game or what he actually likes to call it, foot prison. Now, alright. He could claim wearing no shoes helped him with an injury, but that's weird violation number 1. The second is how Mac only owns dogs, because he's afraid of cats for what weird reason?
You have said that small cats will steal your soul.
Yeah. Really, the only cats that don't count are big, the ones that grow up big, so lions, tigers. Those ones are acceptable, even when they're young. But kittens are they're just smaller than what they're gonna eventually be, which is a small cat.
Alright. Being afraid of cute animals like that is definitely weird violation number 2. But third is how this man refuses to use elevators because of what?
What about no elevators?
What is the deal with the elevators?
When I told them, and the reason why is because nobody's gonna carry me to success.
See, I swear Matt comes up with weird reasons to make his own life harder or something. Violation number 3. But the fourth and final thing involves his weird diet, because he puts honey on damn near everything, never uses utensils.
It exposes your body to beneficial bacteria and flora that can actually strengthen your immune system. It helps stimulate digestive enzymes in the mouth and stomach to more efficiently break down food.
You wash your hands multiple times a day. Wash your utensils only once a day, so it is more hygienic.
And Mac avoids every single vegetable, claiming it's rabbit food. Then this man celebrates wins by drinking what?
The M&Ms go in. Come on now. Take the dough, you can get them. A little chocolate water never hurt anybody.
Yeah, it's official. Drinking peanut M&M water has to be one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, man. But the #1 weirdest NFL story is something that got Odell Beckham turned into some of the funniest memes in NFL history. Everything started when some girls were on a podcast and exposed something crazy about Odell.
Tell that story.
Who likes to get shitted on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who likes to get shitted on in the industry? We want to know. You gotta.
Odell
You
Beckham.
can keep it.
Yes, he loves to be
Kelce.
shitted on. Okay, he wanted me to come on a plane. And he was like, make sure you don't have any underwear. Don't take a shower for 24 hours. I'm like, damn, what the fuck you on?
And instead of dropping some receipts about how it's not true, Odell started seeming a bit guilty when all he did was joke about the situation.
Of every rumor, situation, all the bullshit I've dealt with in my career, this was the funniest shit.
You must have laughed. Were you laughing at that?
My boy sent it to me, and I woke up. Ben sent it to me, and I seen it. It was like 7 in the morning when I was going to take my test, and I watched it, and I called him back in tears, crying. Like, I have never, ever in my life heard this one. I couldn't even believe it. I was on the field, and they were like, "Oh, man, don't tell me it's true, man. Don't tell me I like to get shitted on." Like,
And listen, things did not end there. The story got even weirder. While Odell was playing for the shit stains, I mean the Browns, and kept talking about the situation when he posted a pic on the gram with the caption, "Can't knock me off my pivot no matter what shit's thrown my way." But once he kept everything going, that only made the story of Odell liking to get pooped on go even more viral. Fans started dropping some of the funniest memes ever, like someone telling Odell that he has chocolate on his face, where he'd respond like,
"Chocolate. This is doo-doo, babe."
Another where Odell would order Taco Bell, and his girl would ask if it'll mess her stomach up, and he says,
I hope so.
Okay.
Then finally, there was one of his girls saying her Chipotle isn't sitting right, which would have Odell like,
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
people are hilarious for those, but I guess now it makes sense how Odell became so shit at football after all this.